I'm Pablo, and I'm learning how to write music. Today I have a sound synthesis assignment for my music technology class. Before getting into it, I want to mention my new rule for these episodes. Any episode from this point forward will contain a finished piece of music, regardless of what the assignment I'm completing might require. In order to make it easier, I'll occasionally be digging into my pile of old files to give me a good starting off point. This episode, I'll be using a file I created in November 2024 where I was trying to mess around with making a dubstep growl and trying to learn some sound design. Unfortunately, I lost most of the sounds, but I remember more or less how they sound, so I'll be restoring that first and then finishing the track. So let's get into it. Okay, so this is the assignment for making synthetic sounds and stuff like that. The idea is you're going to mess around with like a wavetable type thing. You have an oscillator, you have different things, and you can mess around with synthesizing sounds. This kind of goes through the process and the whole thing, and there's a lot of explanation. But since I already kind of know what I'm doing, and I don't really see a point in, retreading those steps, I'm just going to work on restoring this project here. Some kind of noise. So the only thing that saves, I'm going to play it here, is the 16th bass here. And this top stuff, because this is all with Helm. Yeah, so I believe, just going to get into this. So I believe this was like a big, So I'm just gonna kind of get some sounds in here, and I'm gonna try to remember what I did, because I lost all of this stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this had. Need to make it more aggressive. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get this exactly how I want it to sound, but I need to give it a little more body. A little more compression. I think I had these so it says organ, so I'm going to go for that. Again, I can split the sound into two parts, so I can have like a body. Like a sawtooth. I want a little bit of a detune effect, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this so that the velocity of the note kind of comes down, so this is more of a pluck. Okay, so this is... There, let me play it from the start. There. Okay, so that's what I had made before. I just remade the sounds. For the sake of the assignment, that's all I needed to do. I just needed to make like synthesized sounds, and I was using a wavetable here, Serum, so that was cool. However, After making episode 6 and reflecting on what I want out of this composition series, I want to actually finish compositions every episode. I'm going to finish this. I'm not going to just be okay with this and save it somewhere. I'm going to try and finish this. So let's give it a shot. Let's just move this down somewhere. And to clarify, I never showed this triplet sound, but the idea of this is it's kind of like a heavily distorted bass with, again, I adjusted the velocity parameter here so it's kind of more of a pluck. Yeah, and I put some distortion on it, and I made sure it's really tight and compressed. And it fits right alongside the kick drum. What key is this in? It's all A minor. I'm just gonna fade in, I think. Keep it simple because I don't have a ton of ideas. So I think I have kind of a laser sound here. Yeah, something like that. I don't think the straight triplets work. Let me see what it sounds like on speakers, because I need to mix this for speakers. I'm getting close. I need to put a sub in. Yeah, there's no way I'd get away with not doing a sub. I think I follow a lot of this stuff with the sub, and then the sub is usually just like a sine wave, like a really low octave drop sine wave. Let me figure this out. Oh, it still has the automation and stuff. Let me get rid of that. All right. All right. I think this is it. So this is the whole thing. All right. So I think that's just about it. This one took me just over 3 hours. I definitely think that starting from somewhere is a massive help when it comes to, coming up with stuff for these. A lot of times I'll have a starting point for a section, but no idea how to continue. So starting from somewhere and not from scratch helps a lot. Overall, I think this one turned out all right. The EDM adventure continues. I don't expect to learn this overnight. Obviously, there's a lot to learn. Of all the kinds of music I like to listen to, this is probably the one I'm the worst at making, but it is something I'm interested in, and I'll be putting some time into it, so hopefully not for long. But all that aside, I'm glad I got to sit down and do it. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed.